Miami Dolphin fans, Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports here to break down today's news and rumors. We're going to talk about Miami drafting Kyle Pitts at number 6, and we're going to talk about a little trade scenario where it involves Miami trading up to get Penei Sewell. The Miami Dolphins drafting Kyle Pitts at number 6 is the story we're talking about here on Dolphins Today. The report comes from Tony Pauline, who is I'll call him a NFL draft expert, and says that if Pitts is on the board at number 6, he is going to be the pick that Chris Grier, that Brian Flores end up going with here. Now, this has been a player that we've talked about numerous times on this channel because when you realistically think, like, okay, how can I put as much talent around Tua Tagovailoa as I possibly can? A lot of people will say, well, what about Jamar Chase? What about a guy like Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith? We've been also on the train of, if you're looking for maybe the most athletic and most gifted player in terms of catching the football, it might actually be Kyle Pitts. Pauline also goes on to say that he's like, hey, don't be surprised if Miami trades down again or takes a wide receiver. But he's going to basically double down and say it's Kyle Pitts. Here's the exact quote on Pauline on the Dolphins draft plans. I'm told that the Dolphins right now are very content where they are because they're either going to take Pitts or one of the outstanding wide receivers. Right now, if they stand pat, it looks like the pick is going to be Pitts. Now, I know Kyle Pitts is definitely a fan favorite here, and when I asked you guys about a week ago, like, hey, who would you want? A lot of y'all said Kyle Pitts, so what I want every single person that comes across this video to do, if you want the Dolphins to take Pitts at number 6, I want you to like the video. If you don't know what it looks like, you see that thumbs up? You just click that, and then you're ready to rock and roll. So if you want Miami to take Pitts at number 6, I want you to like the vid. I agree with Pauline in the idea that if I was a Dolphins fan, I'd be pretty happy where you're sitting because realistically, you can get a guy like Pitts. You can get a receiver like Chase, Waddle, Devonta Smith, or you could also go out and get a player like Penei Sewell, who we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But realistically, Pitts would be a phenomenal fit here because he's tall, he's big, and he has obviously great production at Florida. I mean, look at this over 24 games, 100 catches, 1,492 yards, 14.9 yards per catch, and then the 18 touchdowns. He really blossomed this past season when he had 12 touchdowns, realistically being the biggest reason why I thought the Florida offense was able to go up and down the field. But what about this? Like, if you're Tua and you're sitting here like, okay, we went out and got Pitts, this is the offense that you'd be able to work with, and I'm not even mentioning a running back here. So you got Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Mike Gesicki, Preston Williams, Kyle Pitts. Now, I'll say one of these names is unlike the other. No offense, Preston Williams. But Devontae Parker, solid wide receiver 1. Will Fuller, probably that wide receiver 1B, but a great field stretcher. Gesicki, I think, is one of the more underrated tight ends in all of football, and then Pitts. But what I really want you to look at is the size. If you are a smaller corner or safety, how are you going to line up with 4 players over 6'3", 4 players that are pretty damn, well, athletically gifted? So how about this? We're always about asking the hard questions here. So if this is what the Dolphins trotted out week 1, if this was the offense that Tua is going to be throwing to the entire season, I want you to look into your crystal ball and try to predict who would be Tua's top target in terms of who would finish the season with the most targets at the end of the season. If you think it would be Devontae Parker, I want you to type DP. If you think it would be Will Fuller, the new guy who they just acquired in free agency, WF, Mike Gesicki, the tight end, MG, Preston Williams, PW, or Kyle Pitts, KP. If you're a diehard Dolphins fan, what I want you to do is hit that big red button that says subscribe. We're trying to get to 14,000 subs. We need only 180 more. So if you already have subbed, hey, that is an amazing task that you guys have accomplished. But take the link that you see below and send it to some of your friends. Now, if you're the type of person you're like, hey, I love Dolphins content, but I want even more content around the 2021 NFL Draft because, dude, I can't even believe this. It's a week away. We just released a brand new mock draft on the Chat Sports channel today if you're watching this on Thursday. And if you want to go check it out, subscribe to Chat Sports. This is the thumbnail. Basically what I did on this one is I went through all 32 teams and I graded them based on what Mel Kiper and Todd McShay thought that they would do in a 3-round NFL mock draft. So if you want, go subscribe at youtube.com/chatsportstv. We also go live there every single Monday and Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to be live for the entire draft next week. All 7 rounds. We're going to be the #1 most watched draft coverage. I promise you, we're going to have a lot of fun. So what about this? We just talked about Pitts going to number 6. What do you guys think are, like, the chances that he's there at number 6? Because, like, we can talk all we want of, oh, yeah, you're going to take this guy, you're going to take this guy. But what are, like, the legitimate chances of him going there? I want you to go down in the comments and let me know. I might be a little bit higher on this than some other people. I'm going to say there is a 75% chance that Kyle Pitts is going to be available to the Miami Dolphins at pick number 6. And speaking of which, if you want to go ahead and bet on whether or not Kyle Pitts is going to be available there, you can do that at BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/bet. When you go ahead and go there, you're going to get a 125% deposit bonus, but you got to use promo code Dolphins125, and you got to go to chatsports.com/bet. If you don't know what 125% deposit bonus means, I got you covered. It means if you deposit $100, you get $125 for free to bet with. And BetUS just put out all their NFL draft props, so if you want to know who's going to be the first quarterback taken, you can go ahead and bet on Trevor Lawrence. If you want to bet on how many quarterbacks get taken in round 1, you can do that. You can bet on literally, there's like hundreds of different things. It's at chatsports.com/bet. So here's the prop bet on BetUS in terms of Kyle Pitts over-under. It's 5.5, which I think is amazing, right? Because it's like, I think either he goes to the Dolphins at 6, or there's going to be a team that goes ahead of him. So if you're going to say, you know what, he's going to go at 5, he's going to go at 4, and if you think he's going to go earlier than that, you would type your O for, I guess you would type, no, you would type your U for under. If it's going to be 6 or above, you would type your O for under. Excuse me on that. When I look at where I think that the draft is going to go, and the reason why I said before I'm 75% sure it's going to happen, I've talked to a few people around the league. I've talked to a few of my friends as well. I mean, Trevor Lawrence to me seems like a lock. Zach Wilson seems like a lock. Mac Jones, Justin Fields, I believe then are the next 2 picks. And according to one of my good friends, Jamar Chase seems like he's going to go to the Cincinnati Bengals at number 5 because they want to be able to pair him with Joe Burrow, which to me means like, okay, that means Kyle Pitts will be there at number 6. That means Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle. It also means a player like Penei Sewell is going to be available. So imagine this world, right? You take Kyle Pitts at number 6. I don't think the Detroit Lions then go ahead and take Penei Sewell at number 7. So what would you do this? Like the idea of trading up for Penei Sewell. Obviously, Miami has been I think we'd all agree, a pretty aggressive team, and when there's a player on the board that they want, they could do it. So that means at pick number 8, it's the Carolina Panthers, and Adam Schefter already has reported that Carolina has looked at potentially moving back and acquiring more picks. Carolina already traded for Sam Darnold, which is the biggest reason why they could move back, and it could also be the reason why they could take somebody like Penei Sewell. But there's also been reports out there that they like Rashawn Slater more because of his versatility on that offensive line. All I'm saying is this. If Penei Sewell is available at number 8, if you're Brian Flores, if you're Greer, you have to at least think about the idea of going up and trading for him. So what I did here is this. I put together a nice little trade package, and for the values of picks here, you can go online, you can check out the trade value chart. It basically gives a value to every single pick in the entire draft. When I did this, it's about as close as you can possibly get to 100% of a fair trade. So the Dolphins, they go up to pick number 8. Okay, they give up their other first-round pick, number 18. They also give up their first second-round pick, 36 overall, but then they get back a fifth-round pick at 151. So what do you think about this? If it meant you could go up and get a Penei Sewell, if it meant, heck, if you like Rashawn Slater more, if you could do it, would you make it happen? I want you to let me know, yes or no. If you think it's too much, give me your trade idea. If you don't think it's enough, please go down to the comment section and let me know. And you see that bottom line, it says turn on your notifications. I'll tell you what, you better turn on your notifications because if a trade like this happens, we're going to be making a video. So let's just say the Dolphins, they make that trade happen. They move up. They get Penei Sewell at number 8. The reason why I like the idea behind this is because with Miami picking or making as many trades as they have and acquiring as much draft capital as they have the flexibility where they can get kind of ballsy. And if you came away with the draft where you had Kyle Pitts at 6, Penei Sewell at number 8, let's say then maybe you go with a running back like Javonte Williams at pick number 50, I'll tell you what, if that's how they came away, I'd be pretty happy about that. And having 3 picks still in the top 50 is something that a lot of teams would be interested in. And then another pick in round 3. Then you'd have 2 picks in round 5 and then 2 picks in round 7. So before I leave y'all today, I want you to let me know. Grade this draft idea. You take Kyle Pitts at 6. You trade up for Penei Sewell at number 8. And then you have your remainder, 4 or 6 other picks here to take other players that you want. If you love this idea, give me an A. If you like it, give me a B. If it's an okay move, C. D, you didn't like it. F, it's just an absolute fail.